Since Hannah needed a small footprint case, the Fractal Design Node 202 offered exactly what she was looking for. When we originally designed the build, we knew it was going to have an Intel processor, and because of that, we went with an Asus ROG Strix Z390 ITX motherboard. The PCIe extension for the graphics card is a little tricky to get in. As a warning for anybody who builds in this case in the future, the far right screw hole may or may not be accessible depending on what motherboard you have. Originally, we were going to go with an i7-8700K and delit it before putting it in. But after talking to Hannah and Ryan about it, they ended up ordering an i7-9700K instead because they'd rather have a slightly newer processor with more cores, even though it has less threads. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a big fan of Thermal Grizzly. Here I used some Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut for the thermal paste. We went with a Noctua L9i for the CPU heatsink. Noctua technically advises against this as it does not have support for 95-watt TDP processors from Intel. To make sure Hannah had more than enough power, we went with a Corsair SF 750-watt Platinum power supply. I spec'd the build out so that it would have a RTX 2070, however, Hannah lucked out in that she had a friend upgrade to an RTX 2080 Ti recently, and then sold her their GTX 1080 for just $100. Even though it was used, it was an offer that Hannah could not pass up. This build posed a new challenge with wiring that I have never had to deal with before. For once, I actually struggled to get everything connected because there is so little room in this case that everything kept overlapping each other. Much respect to all you ITX builders out there because wiring is a pain in the ass in these small cases. Just when I thought I was done, I went to put the case back together and realized I messed up. I had put the power supply in upside down, and I won't lie, it made me pretty salty. I tried to just turn it around without unplugging anything, but I soon lost that battle. I had to unplug everything off the power supply, turn it around, then plug everything back in. Finally, we were done. I do want to mention that due to corrupt video footage, I did lose the SSD and RAM installation segment. So I want to say that we used 16 gigabytes of G.Skill Aegis DDR4 2400 MHz RAM and a 256 gigabyte Samsung 860 EVO SSD. We loaded Rainbow Six Siege to see what sort of temperatures we were looking at on the GPU and CPU. For anybody wondering, the CPU sits around 60 to 65 C while under load. That is all for this build, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We will see you in the next one.